Shalom, real quick, giving all praise to YAHAWASHI, QADASH. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. I'm going to title this video, What Does It Mean by David Being Ruddy? Anyway, this is from a video that was put up 17 hours ago by Vocab Malone, street apologists, when Israelites were on Jerry Springer. And this is, I'm at the 22 minute, 58 second place mark of this video. And if you come back, this is an old video when THAWADAH, the so-called God sent comforter, was on Jerry. I believe it was Jerry Springer as well. He says it's Jerry Springer. I remember seeing that show, but I don't, well, it could have been Jerry Springer, but they had the KKK on. And THAWADAH said, how can David be read when Solomon was a black man, and pursuant to Song of Solomon 1 verse 5. Now you got these Christians that say, oh, that was a Shulamite woman. The Shulamites are black. When you read the Song of Solomon, from the first verse, it says, the Song of Songs, which is Solomon. These are Solomon's songs. He didn't say, these are my songs, so let me pass it off to the black Shulamite woman. He was talking about himself. And those are actual songs. So when to get the spiritual understanding, he was singing to the Most High, but he was likened unto a woman, which represents Israel. Israel are men, first and foremost. The helpmate of an Israelite man is a woman. But what does the scriptures refer to the Israelites as being a beautiful woman? That's Jeremiah 6:2, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to go to it. So when Solomon was singing to the Most High, he was singing like, I'm a woman, and I'm trying to impress you so you can marry me. And it's a spiritual marriage. So it's not the Shulamite woman. Other times he takes the part of a man falling in love with a woman, and that woman represents wisdom. Wisdom is the feminine side of the spirit, so to speak. Anytime you see wisdom, it's referred to as she or her. Wisdom is not an actual woman, and the Most High is not an actual man. He's a spirit, meaning on the masculine side. Wisdom represents the spirit on the feminine side. So Solomon was going back and forth where he says, my sister, my sister, my spouse. I believe that's Song of Solomon 4. That's Solomon talking, singing to wisdom. I want to marry you. So he's a man talking to a woman. But then he takes the part of a woman talking to a man, which is the father. And see, Esau can't get it because Esau, they're not spiritual people. That's why when you go to the commentary, they're either hit or miss. They don't understand the spiritual part. You have to be spiritual. You have to have the spirit, a righteous spirit in you to understand this book. This is a spiritual book. So this individual, Vocab Malone, is busy trying to debunk everything that we say. So here we go right here. So he's attempting to debunk what THAWADAH said about Solomon saying that he was black. So how can David, if Solomon was black, how can David be red or ruddy? So let's read it. So the Philistine giant sees David and he says, I'm not going to fight you because you're red. Why would a man, like if two boxers get together and a guy says, I'm not going to fight you because you got braids in your hair? That sounds stupid. See, they don't understand it because they're not spiritual people. And the Most High, the Heavenly Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are not dealing with these devils. So let me read this. This is 41st verse. It says, and the Philistine, which by the way, if they make movies on David when he fought the Philistine, it's a white man. So if they made a movie about the Shulamite woman, she would be a white woman. The Egyptians were white. Everybody, anytime Esau makes a movie about the Israelites or like a movie with a religious theme in it, everybody plays white. How in the fucking Egyptian play white? They whiteize everything. That's part of their Renaissance. He said, let's just paint everybody white. There was a movie came out in the 50s called Samson, played by Victor Mature. And I remember that movie as a kid. And the Philistines were all fucking white people. But guess what? The Philistines came out of Mizraim, which are the Egyptians. So the Philistines would be so-called Egyptians, the sons of Mizraim, the sons of Ham. So it says, and the Philistine moved forward and came near to David. So he's getting a better look at David with his shield bearer in front of him. And when the Philistine looked and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy and handsome, meaning he was young. He would be considered a stripling. You know, you got a kid in 7th grade and he's 6'5". You can already, what do you do? The coach puts him on the basketball team and trains him because he said, look, you're 6'5" in the 7th grade, but when you're fully grown, you're gonna probably, if not 7 feet, you're gonna be damn near close to 7 feet. So they're gonna push, encourage him to play basketball in the hopes that he can become the next Jordan or the next LeBron James or the next Kobe or the next Dr. J, so that they can take the credit. Oh yeah, I'm the first one that taught him how to shoot from the a 3-pointer. I'm the first one that showed him how to shoot a layup. And like I said, go to any school in America, and if you got a kid that's in 7th grade, 6th grade, 8th grade, that's 6 foot something, he towers over the other children, they're gonna encourage him to play basketball. So David was a stripling. It said handsome, meaning he was young. He had smooth skin. He didn't have these warriors, they had cuts on them, they had bruises, cuts on their head, maybe missing part of a finger. And I don't know. I can't give you a picture of us, the giant, Goliath, but he probably had a couple of battle wounds on him. All right. So he's used to fighting a warrior pretty much on his level. So he sees this guy that's a stripling, and he says, look at this young guy. This is a tender guy. He's a tender guy. He's a kid. He's a stripling. That's what it meant. It had nothing to do with color. Ruddy has nothing to do with color. It says, ruddy and handsome in appearance, and the Philistine said to David, am I a dog that you come to me with sticks? And the Philistine cursed David. Like he said, look, you ain't even a match for me. Because David didn't use a sword. He had a slingshot, and he was an expert with the slingshot. And see, they didn't know it. They found out that he used a slingshot to chase away lions, to chase away bears. Because remember, when they went to anoint the king, the new king, Samuel went to the house of Jesse. The light fell on Jesse's house. So he said, bring out all your sons. He had 8 sons. He only brought out 7 of the sons that were grown men that had battle experience. David was still, he was a stripling, like I said. He wasn't fully grown. He was probably tall. Well, he was tall. He was almost as tall as Saul, because he was able to wear his armor. But like I said, he was a stripling. He wasn't fully, he wasn't filled out, as they say. So that's what the Goliath meant when he called him ruddy. You know, you're tender. We call chicks red bones. You can have a chick that's brown, caramel skin, and she's young and tender, and tenderonis. They were also called red bones. It didn't mean that they were red. It meant that they were tender, that their skin was supple, smooth. So that's what it meant. David didn't have no war wound, no scars on him. So this is what I'm going to do. So I put in the word ruddy. So you can say the word ruddy can mean red. Now it says here, it says she has red hair. She really has brown hair. You would say reddish or brown. Red Fox. Why was he called Red Fox? And Malcolm X was called Detroit Red. You can clearly see that he's brown, but there's a red tint to him. This is a ruddy duck. It's a reddish brown. Look at this individual right here. Given visibility to the invisible, an interview with photographer Ruddy Royce. Well, his name is Ruddy Royce, but you can see that his complexion is reddish brown, reddish tint. The North American Indians, the Gadites, you can even say that they're red because they have a reddish brown tint to them. The color brown is a combination of green and red. You see this man? You can say that he's ruddy or red. You can see the red here. You can see what type of person he is, or JJ, and he looks just like somebody I know in the scriptures. Ruddy duck. That's brown right there. You can kind of see right here a reddish brown, a reddish brown. The Gadites are a reddish brown. So could David look similar to Red Fox or, Malcolm X, which are so-called? They couldn't attend a Klan meeting. So is it possible that David could have looked pretty much, had this complexion? Yes. But they used that to say that, see, they were reddish, meaning they were white. Now, when you say that Esau is reddish, you're admitting to the fact when you say he's ruddy, that he's red. Look at these people right here. They're red. They're actually red. They're not red. They're translucent. And the blood through their translucent skin, shows through themselves because they're light. If they had pigment, they wouldn't be red. They're not, if you peel the skin off of them, the skin is not going to be red. It's the blood that shows forth through the transparency, or their transparent skin. So what did Goliath mean by that? I just explained it to you. Anyway, with that, it's on to the next one. Shalom.